All right, we're live. So I'm going to first apologize ahead of time. We've got a little bit of an echo. It is a church, so it's nice, reverberates the sound like it's supposed to. Second off, my background is a little bit different this time, so I had to keep upstairs because of the kids. They'd be running all around me the entire time. So we have from my left to right is Carl, Brent, Carl, Ned, and Brent. I'm going to let them introduce themselves in a couple minutes here, or a couple seconds. Both Brent and Carl have been fully vaccinated, so that's why they're sitting up front and center right now. So, I'm sorry. Oh, I'm sorry, Ned. I apologize, Ned. Okay, so guys.
Carl, if we had the chance.
So go ahead and introduce yourselves and tell us what you guys do at Mount Ida, and then we can jump into some of the history that you guys want to tell us about.
Okay. Hi, my name is Brian Caird. I'm the Vice President of the Mount Ida Preservation Association. I have been a member in various roles in the administration or the group since 1997 when we first started. You want to go?
Well, we had the good fortune in Mount Ida Preservation Association to get this wonderful church, which is our headquarters now.
You want to tell her we
Mount Ida.
What happened here? There we go. Okay.
We're just getting ourselves organized. My name is Ned Pratt. I'm an architectural historian and a member of the board. I used to teach at Junior College of Albany, and I'm very interested particularly in stained glass, and I've done a lot with stained glass in Troy, so this is a fascinating church. I was glad to get in it when the group first started, and then I've been involved in the group for 10 or 15 years now.
Excellent.
Carl?
I'm Carl Backus. I'm the building manager for Mount Ida Preservation Association. I am also the board member of the organization. I'm thoroughly involved with this building and other various projects in Troy, this being the largest of the undertakings to restore this building. So we're happy to present today, do this for Preservation Month. So we'll keep going here. But thanks very much for joining us.
Excellent. So, Brant, if you wanted to run down some history of the building.
The building was, I think, dedicated in 1870, thereabouts, when F.W. Farnham needed basically a church for his mill workers. He owned a mill just up the other side of the Bowling Bridge, up on Brunswick Road there. Mm-hmm. He owned the Excelsior knitting mill and cotton mill, as well as the Farnham knitting mill. My great-great-grandfather was the first minister here, and it remained active as the Free Church of Ascension till approximately 1997, 98, thereabouts, at which point the diocese closed it up. We had created a not-for-profit, the Mount Ida Preservation Association, in 1997 when the dam went out up above the Bowling Avenue Bridge. And we did such things as we saw that the dam got rebuilt. We took care of the cemeteries around here and some other buildings around the city of Troy. And then in 2005, somebody came to me and said, well, why don't you take the church?
Wow.
Because the diocese had pretty much abandoned it. So I gave a call to the diocese and I basically offered that we take over the building, and they allowed us as a not-for-profit to take it. And so we did, and from then on, we had been working to basically rehabilitate the structure itself. We've had some highs and lows with that. The furnace has been stripped out of copper at one point. Well, we've been working on getting the heat back in. The heat is downstairs. The sanctuary is a little on the bleak side, but we're looking to get a certificate of occupancy for the sanctuary. We do have a certificate of occupancy for the downstairs. And we also operate a incubator kitchen for Primo Botanica, who makes chocolate downstairs in the kitchen. And so it's a beautiful structure. It's got an incredible location, right, sitting on the top of the Mount Ida Gorge and Postongill Gorge. And we're trying to get it back up to make it a great community center, something that the community can use for whatever the community needs. And there's a food pantry operating out of it now. Like I said, we've got all sorts of things we can do for dinners or rental hall, have meetings here, hopefully eventually weddings. As you might be able to recognize, we've got great acoustics up here in the sanctuary. So it's an ideal place for concerts and things like that. So we've got a lot of goals for this building, and we're really trying to take off with it. One of the great things about it is the stained glass up here in the sanctuary, and I'm going to turn that over to Ned to describe those, the windows.
Excellent, thank you.
Thank you, Matt. What I find interesting about it, it's about a wonderful Gothic revival church from the 1870s, designed by Marcus Cummings, who was probably our most prominent architect in Troy from the last part of the 19th century. Did a lot of buildings downtown, a lot of townhouses and several courts. This is a nice, simple, small church. It seems pretty big to us. We were trying to keep the roof patched, but in reality, as churches go, it's fairly small. It's an cruciform shape with stained glass done in two phases. One, some early stained glass from the 1870s, most likely by a professor from West Point. And then around the turn of the century, we got a whole new set of newer windows, and memorial windows we'll look at later, done by the Frederick Steinmetz Lamb of the Lamb Company, a stained glass company in New York City that's still in business. And we'll take a quick look at them as we go around. I think first we'll start by just looking at our Ascension Window, which is option. Yes, and just name us up there if you will.
Yeah.
Perfect.
All right. I'm going to walk us into the laptop, so the windows up close.
All right. Yeah, try not to rub against the PC itself because you can hear that, but I can see the window pretty well.
I'll try to. It's so the sun shining right through. It's like the worst time for it. All right, so Ned.
So this is an assessment. We can get back where we can see. Maybe we can see a little bit of what's in it, maybe not. This is an ascension. It's Jesus rising after 40 days after he's been crucified, and it's an early window, probably from about 1870. We may be able to see it further back. I think the window isn't coming through because it's too bright. I think we'll go right to some of the other windows, which are done by the Lamb Company.
And to fill people in, Lamb was a direct competitor to Tiffany glass as well, right?
That's correct. Yeah. So let's move over this way. Window behind it.
All right.
Wow.
There you go.
You see it? Yeah, you can see them, right, Ned?
Yes.
Yeah. Better. Well, one of the differences, the older glass, which is traditional, the way glass has been made for centuries, is essentially to paint your figures on the glass. You would mix ground glass with your paint and then fire it so it became permanent. But essentially, it's a painting on glass. What Tiffany and his competitors, Lamb, and a few others did was to try and do all their effects out of the glass itself. That is, say for draperies, you would get a piece of glass, colored the drapery you want the drapery to be, and while it was still molten, you would fold it so it had pleats in it like real drapery would.
Wow.
And tried to do everything in the window just with glass effects. both these drapery glasses one, opalescent glasses another, where you got neat visual effects, often by mixing two colors and then cooling it off while they're still swirling around in the glass. Tried to do everything out of the glass. The only thing they couldn't do was the hands and the faces and the feet, which just looked goofy when you did them out of glass. So those parts are painted on, but the rest is done with glass effects. And these are, at their height, which is early 20th century, most of these are, say, 1905 to 1915, around in there. Lamb was every bit the equal of Tiffany. Some of the churches in upstate New York have, in fact, one in Corning has, the Episcopal Church has Tiffany windows on one side and Lamb windows on the other side, and they're really very difficult to tell apart.
Wow.
So we got to zoom in on the left one here and see if we can just get a little bit better color.
I go vote now. Thank you very much.
So, are you getting the color at all in here?
It's incredible.
That is fine.
Yes, beautiful.
Take a look. Let's just even focus in on this plaque at the bottom. You can see some of these colors. This is made by mixing two colors while it's still molten and then bringing it out and cooling it off. So you get these wonderful abstract painting elements. It really looks like. So it all goes together to make a nice religious window. These are just some angels on the end. We haven't identified the angels yet. Each of them has a symbol, and the drapery is something you really have to come and see in real life and get up close to it. One of the advantages to a small church like this is you can get right up to the windows. If you go to, say, the cathedral, most of the windows don't start until you're 20 feet above ground, so you can't really see much. These, you can get right up to it, see the dedications. This one happens to be dedicated to the Coxes, where when this was just a mission church, they were meeting in people's houses, and the first meetings of what became the Ascension community was held in the Coxes parlor.
Beautiful.
It's a nice dedication. Let's take a look at some of them that are more religious symbols you might recognize.
And there's our main rose window in the front. It's currently lit up. The timer is screwy, so I have to fix the timer on that. And we come in here. There we go.
So this is Jesus.
There you go.
Lambs.
You guys are breaking up a little bit. Okay, so we lost him just for a moment, but I've been on site seeing these windows, and it's actually pretty incredible. The amount of color and the amount of texture that all these windows have. To my knowledge, most of these windows are actually, almost all of them are original to the structure, and they're working on getting new plexiglass placed on the outside of these windows to keep them protected from the elements. They've recently had the roof fixed. They had some leaks, so they were able to raise enough money to get the roof fixed and some of the eaves painted. And they're in the process of actually painting up the rest of the woodwork on the building itself. Nice bright red color, which was, I believe, the original color that they used back then. To kind of recap, the hall itself was built 1869 to 1870, and it's right at the top of Mount Ida, or the Post-and-Kill Gorge. I'm going to try to bring those guys back in, but this kind of ties in really nicely with Dig the Falls, because at the Post-and-Kill Gorge actually houses a very beautiful multi-tier waterfall that flows year-round. On the other side of the gorge, you can actually, there's a park that you can visit and walk up to almost the base of the waterfall itself. It's really, really beautiful. Standing down there, you can look up and see the church up on the actual edge of the cliff where it was originally built. But these guys have been doing a really, really great job at rebuilding the structure and trying to, here we go, I'm going to bring them back in and trying to get it usable in its full form upstairs and downstairs. So you guys are back. I hear you now.
Where do we end? So our Wi-Fi is downstairs, and it's a stone building.
Yep.
Two combinations that do not work well together.
Yeah, understandable. All right, so I can hear you pretty good. I can see you pretty good too.
Very good. So this is actually a pretty good representation of the window. You can see most of it, and it's Jesus' lamb. The lamb in this case is painted on, but the draperies are quite wonderful. You can see
Wow.
the flowers, the draperies. It's all pretty good stuff. And it works. The decoration works with these great.
Oh, you guys are breaking up again. That building is a thick block building too. Lots of rocks. So you guys may be in or out for a bit. Okay. So what I was saying was they do have the downstairs completely open right now. They've got a facility that they can use for dining, meetings. It's actually a pretty large area that can seat quite a few people. They use it as an area food pantry. They also have a chocolate making business, or I believe it's a organic vegan chocolate, if I'm not mistaken. Here we go. Got you guys again.
Yeah, it's like the Wi-Fi, even with our big router, it's still like just a pain in the butt. So we're gonna stick to this side of the building where the Wi-Fi is much better.
Okay.
Were you able to see the painted feet on the Jesus on that side?
Not the feet, not the feet themselves.
Yeah, I'll zoom in over here, Ed. How's that? That works fine.
That's perfect. Beautiful.
So let me shut the window here. Yeah.
Now, if someone wanted to come and visit these windows or the church itself, would they want to make an appointment with you guys to do that?
Yes, I was going to get to that in a little bit about the Mondays and stuff.
Yep.
You can always contact us via our Facebook page. We do have a website and an email. I'll get to that in about 5-10 minutes.
Perfect.
That works out well, and then I can go through the whole thing with that. I just want to make sure that you guys get a chance to go through the main part of stained glass.
Absolutely.
So if I get in here, I have the screen backwards. I have a tablet. So can you see the feet, Ed?
Yes. Yep.
That's actually pretty good.
Yeah, that's a good visual.
Yeah, I can see that pretty well. So, what's significant about the feet themselves? Hold on, guys. You may need to sign out and sign back in.
That's pretty good, showing us in the church.
And I can actually see the nice wood background right now. The wood features on the ceiling. I'm going to... Oh, you guys are froze. So if everyone looks, you can see the wood features on the ceiling itself is actually all original wood. But you also can see that there's still a little bit of damage that needs to be fixed on the ceiling itself. So you guys can hear me now?
Yeah, I don't know what happened there. Okay, back.
Just show the overall window here. That's pretty good of it. These are
beautiful.
The lower end of the transepts here. We've got two angels on either side, two windows.
Here's the other one.
Oops, lost them again. That's I will say, standing in that church, most times I'm working there, I have no cell signal. That I'm surprised they can get Wi-Fi upstairs, to tell you the truth. But what I was saying was the downstairs is still pretty well used, but they're looking to get the area that they're in right now. They want to get that certificate of occupancy, and all they need is just a little bit more to get the certificate.
All right, here we are again.
I got you guys. Go ahead.
All right.
Okay, so this gives you an idea of a close-up of one of the angels. They can turn around in a minute and give you a panorama of the other end. So just show you the angel
Wow.
you're looking at. What's interesting here is that when you get up, it's a small church, so you can get up right close to the windows and see the detail of all the things that are going on with the glass that the artist has imagined for this window. It's an interesting process that we should take a look at when we have a chance. The artist, probably Mr. Lamb, who's head of the studio, would do a watercolor, which he would show to the church, and if they liked it, then they would turn it into a cartoon, which was life size and describes each of the pieces of glass. And there would usually be a person whose job was just to select the glass for a particular window, or in this case, create it for some of the drapery effects. Up close today, it looks very modern because so much of it is so abstract. And it's in a nice setting. Come on a nice day. That's the trick. Come on a nice day when it's nice and warm. Let's just swivel around and look at the other end where we were before. This shows the transept. What angels they're looking at right before. You can see that these are the lamb windows below. Up above it, there's a circular window with 4 lobes, which is probably the early glass from the 1870s. We're debating, it says angels flying around in heaven, it looks like in the painting. We're not sure. It might be. One suggestion was that it's the rapture after the end of the world. We've all either gone, depending on our status, we've either gone up to heaven and joined in with the rapture, or we haven't. And we're stuck with staying on earth if we didn't make the grade. But you can take a look. I think the camera on this computer seems to do better on the overview of the church itself. Take a look back over to where the granny is.
Yeah, so I'll just give you like a visual tour just to see the architecture. The interior of the sanctuary itself actually is in pretty decent shape. We have paint peeling here and there. You guys can see the plaster removed up here. We had roof leaks that we got repaired last fall. And same thing on this side. We do have some of the original electrical that was put in probably the 20s more than likely. And that's like, here's above me, here's the pendant light directly above me in the center of the nave. And same thing with the other two here. We only have 2 shades broken, luckily. And I did find replacements for them. So it's all of our stained glass is still in good, decent shape.
Pretty much, yes.
So here's Ned Pratt.
Beautiful. And the organ is still in place as well?
Yes, let me just, I can zoom in right over onto what's left. Here is,
Wow.
you can see the keyboard to the original console. It's a Moore organ, and there is where the pipes are behind the facade over here are fake pipes, but with the original carved, I think it's maple wood that's been stained like dark brown.
Okay.
It probably hasn't been operating since at least 2000, yeah, late 90s, early 2000s. But all the pipes are still here. The blower has been removed, but the future is yet to be determined. Best way to put it.
The blower no longer works, so.
And we were able to make more room for storage for food when they desperately needed more space for food for the families in need.
Understood.
So, Ned, do you have anything else, or?
That's good.
Okay. Well, we're gonna set the camera back down here.
All right.
Just come right down we will have a stable. I'll flip this back to the.
Oh yeah, you're sideways.
So, we have a weekly series on every Monday. Some of you guys have been tuning in on it, Mount Ida Mondays. With that, Ned, once a month, will have a post about the stained glass windows, specifically honing in on one or two windows. He had his first one at the beginning of this month, which a lot of people, I think we had over 11,000 people look at it. And it described at least some of the windows behind us here, as it's like overview of the big rose windows that we have.
Fantastic.
The next one's on the main Ascension Window is the next one. That's the one that's directly behind me. That's kind of hard to see. That's where the sun's coming right now.
It's actually appropriate because we're going into Easter, and the Ascension Church is named after Jesus' ascension after Easter. So that's the focus of our window as well. So it's all coming together. Preservation Week, Easter.
Yeah. That's great. So if people wanted to find you guys online, where are the best places to find you?
So we have a website, mountidatroy.org, which now gets updated. I try to do it at least weekly, if not every few weeks, to update it. We also have the Facebook page, which is at Mount Ida Community. I think is our tag. You can also, I think we're tagged in on our post.
Preservation.
Yeah. We're called the Mount Ida Preservation Association. But our tag on the end of Facebook is always like a little tag on there. It's like it's Mount Ida Community because preservation was taken. So you don't get, it's only one. You're not gonna do Mount Ida Preservation 1, 2, 3, 4. But we do a weekly series touching on history, projects, events, groups in the neighborhood. We recently started getting into local businesses during the pandemic on Mondays. We touched on Mutza. I think I have 2 other ones lined up, which will be in the next few months. I'll try to find them. Oh, yeah.
There we go.
We're still sideways a little bit, but that's all right. So we also have a Patreon. If anyone would like to donate, it's a monthly subscription. It automatically takes out however much you want to donate. That goes to more to our operating costs and renovations.
As well as PayPal.
We have a PayPal account also. We also have.
Or just send us money.
You can send us a check, Grant. You send us a check to
Mount Ida Preservation Association, 548 Congress Street, Troy, New York.
Yep.
12180.
We also have an Amazon Smile ability. If you shop on Amazon, you can give to charities, and that's smile.amazon.com, and you can select us as a charity. If you use Bing for searches or Microsoft Bing for anything, points you can donate. Each search is about 5 points. After 100 points, it's 10 cents. After 1,000 points, it's $1. During the pandemic, because I work from home, I actually gave $108 worth of searches to Mount Ida. That's relatively new. Bing does that. And every dollar goes toward the restoration of this building. This past year, actually, Ed helped us out downstairs, putting the new trim on in the downstairs, painting. We had new lights just put in the past month and a half. So every little step is one step forward in progress.
Also, one of the things we do is, beginning of May, the 3rd Sunday of every month, we're going to be doing brunches again.
Awesome.
From 11 to 1.
11 to 1.
11 to 1. Yeah.
One Sunday a month.
Yeah, one Sunday a month. The 3rd Sunday of every month is our big event. In the summer, I think it's going to be Saturday nights, we're planning on having movie nights on the Gorge once a month during the summer. Likely, I think the 2nd Saturday. We're hoping to line up some food vendors. We're going to have music and popcorn and stuff on the Gorge. Still socially distanced, but we'll be able to project the movie right over the Mount Ida Falls.
Okay.
That'll be something that'd be really cool to have. The first, I think we'll ever have it here doing something like that. And starting in the fall, we're hoping to potentially get some more indoor events, especially looking maybe toward an open mic.
Halloween, perhaps paranormal, because the paranormal people have been here before. They said they found all sorts of spooks. So that's always entertaining.
Awesome.
Earth Day is also coming up next month. We're going to have 2 Earth Day events. One in the Postville Gorge Park down along Linden Avenue here, which actually is the best place to view the falls aside from us. Right. We can do a shameless plug there. Then we also will have volunteers at Bird and Pond for another cleanup with the Narrows Trail project, which will be right in our back door. And then
the cleanup in the cemetery.
Cemeteries and our grounds will be another one. We're planning those events. We're going to have that planned, I think, next board meeting, the beginning of April. They'll be online.
Okay.
Then.
Well, we always do that as part of the citywide Earth Day cleanup. So.
Okay.
Yeah,
Excellent.
and anyone, if for Boy Scouts or Girl Scouts, anyone needs project volunteer time, we have plenty of projects to do for volunteering. If anyone out there specializes in like electrical, painting, plaster work, anything, we are a 501c3,
That's
so
right, Ed.
we can your time can be donated and be used. We
are a 501c3. We can give you a tax deduction.
Yeah, any little thing to help, and our goal is eventually to have a plaque put in the building and recognize everyone that's helped us out over time to get this dream a reality, especially this gem that is this building. So,
what
this is just the start of a series we hope to do.
Yeah, what's the next big project that you guys are going to try to get into right now?
The steeple restoration, which the biggest thing right now is we're getting to where the projects are now not just volunteer ability, is actually we need specialist professionals to repair. So the steeple facade has come down in a section of the back of the steeple, and the facade has, when they built the building, they laid the stone so the bedding planes would cleave off. So now the cleaving of the stone is actually wearing it away instead of being along the axis, it's peeling.
Right.
So we have to repair our facade and really fasten just these loose stones around the outside. Painting has begun on the outside around the window trim. We're replacing plexiglass on the stained glass windows. The next big project that we're going to be doing is actually the sidewalk going to the building is going to get, we're going to rip the pavement out and actually pour concrete the whole length so that it's more handicap accessible.
Beautiful.
And that'll also help the food pantry out, which they're open every Saturday from 10 to noon. So Mount Ida Food Pantry is always looking for volunteers to help. So like I said, we have ample opportunities for volunteer service here.
Excellent. Well, I'm going to be showing up a lot more in the next couple months for sure.
We like to see it.
Yeah.
I don't want to see my name anywhere though.
Yeah. The last big event we actually had at the hall was the Dig the Falls dinner on March 1st of 2020. And that was the last event we had before COVID hit.
It's incredible. It was a long time ago.
Over a year ago already. It's
Wow.
crazy to think about.
Yep.
But we were just happy to be able to do this. We hope to eventually maybe do this more once we get our Wi-Fi a little better, apparently, because it seems to be cutting out even though it's in the center of the building. But what can we do?
All right. Well, we're pretty well wrapping up right now. I'm going to apologize again for kind of the background noise. It is a big space. It's supposed to be that way. But is there anything that you guys wanted to say in closing?
Come help. We need it.
Yes.
Come take a look at this building and see how spectacular it is in real life.
Yes.
And I think the same might be said of the stained glass. And I said, we're lucky, we thought we could get up close with this program today, but could have worked better perhaps. But if you come in real life, you can get right up close to the windows and see the detail in them and appreciate the space. It's really quite a wonderful space here.
Absolutely.
And I guess with tours, if you'd like to have a tour, if you contact us, we can probably set a date up. To give tours of the building. We'd like to do it again. We're just waiting on COVID to make sure it's safe and okay.
Yeah.
But we will eventually be having tours again upstairs, especially during the brunches. Is a really good time to actually be able to show the building off while we have it open. And we can actually ventilate the church very well because the part of the stained glass windows have been replaced and repaired with screens. So it's actually kind of nice. We can open the windows up here to heat it up. So now it's getting to the real good time, the warm season. So now I can actually be up in the sanctuary, not freeze your butt off. So did you want to plug the address one more time, just so people know exactly where you guys are?
Top of Congress Street, 548 Congress Street.
Okay, perfect.
We're right next to the cookie factory.
Yes, so you can grab some cookies.
Historic Catholic
Yeah,
Revival
great place
Church.
to buy cookies.
Yeah, big gray stone building. For all you Dig the Falls fans out there, we are at the top of the Mount Ida Falls.
Yes.
Our building, if you look at the falls, our building is always in the background. You can see the steeple.
And
Any
it's
photos.
a great place to view the falls as well.
Yep. Okay.
And also, I'd just like to say too, thank you, Ed, for doing this. Thank you, Carl, for setting this up.
Yeah,
So,
my pleasure.
This
This was a lot of fun, guys. I really appreciate it. And I'll be stopping by sometime soon.
Excellent. Take care.
Thank you.
Thank
All
you.
right. Thanks.